So how many of you guys have seen the first Brony Chronicles?
Matt, Jesus.
2 days ago? What did you think? Really?
Yeah.
So spicy meatball. You guys have any critique about the first one? Because we had a rough cut premiere for the first Brony Chronicles at Equestria LA. Was it 2012 or 2013?
2013.
2013.
Too short.
It was too short? What else would you like to see in that? Because we covered like Generation 1 through 4.
Yeah.
And
Well, we
show.
are doing a second part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. There wasn't a Generation 2.
You didn't show the scary ponies.
The what?
Scary ponies.
Which ones?
Generation 2.5.
Oh god, the newborn cuties.
I thought we did.
No, we did. I think we mentioned
we
them
did.
briefly. It looks like I've seen people from like Newgrounds make better animation than G 3.5.
Yeah.
Which isn't too hard to do. Are you guys familiar with our other work, like Paleo's? This Why My Little Pony is good and why you should watch it.
Yeah,
with
but
a long title.
that video is not available anymore.
Why don't you re-upload it?
I might, but I don't know.
It was a good video.
Yeah, I know.
Why did you take it
Wow,
down?
that sounded like cocky.
I know, it's great. Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, and then I did Ballad back in 2011, which, man, that video looks... I watched it not too long ago. It looks so dated now, and the colors are off, and the audio is horrible, and I did that stupid Applejack accent with Applejack scene. How many of you all have seen Ballad of the Brony? Okay, for those who don't know, it's a project I did back in college for a class called The Study of Deviance. It was an hour-long video about My Little Pony and its fan base. And when I was presenting into my class, I got to the scene where I was talking about doing a little quick bio on Applejack. And I have a horrible southern accent for Applejack, and I was just kind of standing looking at the screen proudly. I turn around, and my entire class is just cringing from my southern voice. I'm like, let's fast forward through this part. But you think we can start this up? I mean,
Well, we'll wait until 12:30 just to get more people in here. So.
all right, cool.
Yeah,
we'll buy some more time.
First at 12:30 we're going to explain
Okay.
what this is as far as.
So you guys having fun at the con? Yeah. So who here are first timers at cons? Cool.
Wow.
So what do you all think about what are some memorable things that have happened or favorite moments so far? Meeting. Oh, you're sweet. Thanks, Mom. What's that?
The improv yesterday.
Oh, thank you. I thought you said prom for a second. I'm like, I missed that. Again. Sleep is overrated. Yes. Isn't there some kind of code where it's like something amount of sleep, eat, and washing yourself? Isn't there some kind of like 5-3-1 code?
531.
2 meals a day, 2 meals a day, and at least 4 hours of sleep.
All right, one more time.
At least 1 shower a day.
1 shower a day.
2 meals a day.
2 meals a day.
At least 4 hours of sleep.
You said 4 or 6?
4 or 6.
4. 621?
Yeah, 621.
621. Okay, there you go. Yeah. I mean, these cons I've been to at least I think 7 by now for the pony stuff, which is really lucky for me to do that. But you kind of start learning the things about cons, like vendor halls. You better bring some money. Make sure you have friends to hang out with. It makes the con experience much more exciting and fun.
You don't have friends? No.
Make friends, exactly. You always can make friends. Paley, what's been your favorite so far for this con?
For this con?
Yeah.
I don't know. The Who's Line panel was very fun. Yeah.
I think my favorite part is when AC Race Best gave himself paralysis when he fell backwards out of his chair. You've been feeling that right now, right? To this more. You slept like that last night, right? You had a crescent moon neck.
Twisted it off.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Any other favorite moments from the con so far?
The electronic concert. Yes.
That was a wild concert. Any favorite set from the concert from anyone? Tetsuo.
I mean, it's good.
You don't remember the concert? Yeah, that doesn't mean you had a fun time. You did it right, and you're still awake to this day. So that's the thing where it proves if you did it right or not, is if you're awake the next morning and still breathing. Any other favorite moments?
Wow.
The one with the nose ring, right? Yes.
When we switched off the lights, then yeah, AB, and then we turn back on and do some habit escort.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I know a lot of people that go to it, but the VIP acoustic.
I heard that was great. Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't like Black Griffin there and.
Black Griffin and Andrea, Amy, and the entire crew family. It was fantastic.
Awesome.
Slug wrestling.
What was that?
Slug wrestling.
I thought slug wrestling. Yeah, this guy, he had a sleeping bag and he put it on and he like zipped it up so it looked like you have it here? This fellow too. So they look like giant slugs just inching on their bellies across the floor, like the hallways of the convention, and they both stand up and start slapping each other. And like you think like after going to all these cons, you're like, I've seen it all. And then you walk out the door like, are those two giant slugs fighting in the hallway? They turn around, their faces are popping up. Ah! Minnesota. See, that's why we Southerners succeeded from the Union, right? Exactly. These northern people are not Southern proper. Where are Chick-fil-A's at? It's such a culture shock. Okay, so I'm from Georgia, and I remember we went to the Mall of America to get something to eat, and I'm at the food court. I'm like, okay, Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A. Where's the freaking Chick-fil-A? It's not Sunday. It's still open. And then I found out there's only like one Chick-fil-A in the state. I don't know.
It's at the airport.
At the airport? Okay, I at the airport, so I missed. Toys R Us?
Where?
Let's go! Let's screw this banner. We're going to Chick-fil-A. It's Sunday! Oh, they're closed on Sunday because it's a Christian company. And also, it was such a shock for me to see all the Pepsi machines here. Like, in Georgia, it's Coke or sweet tea. That's it. Like, because here they say, you want a pop? You want a Pepsi? No, I want a Coke. Because the thing is, like, because it's weird to explain. Soda means, a caffeinated beverage. But in the South, you either say, I want a Coke, or you specify something else entirely. It's odd. It's weird. Are we ready to start?
Yeah.
We'll make you some hot dish.
Hot dish? Is that what's in a hot dish?
Tater tots.
Tater tots?
Everything you had yesterday mixed together.
So pizza and like barbecue. Yes. Cool. All right, Paleo, take it away.
Okay. So this is the Brony Chronicles panel, part 2, premiere.
Get hyped.
Yeah. So this, we've been working on this for a very long time. It actually took us quite a while to get the script going. I had to keep poking Saber.
Excuse you. No, it was, yeah, I wrote the script for it, and I'm not a great writer. Like, there are other people who, like Tommy Oliver's a great writer, and there's people who are much better. And, but yeah, I put it together. And this is why we're having this panel, is like, we want to see what you all think, what about the script, the visuals, the narration. Though I'm not a great writer, I'm very open to constructive criticism. So that's why we're having this here. And just so you all know, this is not the final product. This is a rough cut premiere of part 2. So I got a pen and paper here, and I want to, see what you all think and make some notes and what we can take into consideration. You have your hand up?
Give you criticism, will you punch us in the face?
Only if I don't like the criticism.
It's terrible. Your head's big in this one.
Dude, my head's big all the time. Oh man, I remember going to like a firehouse when I was a kid, and they had little plastic helmets, and it wouldn't fit over my melon head, and I'd be like, why am I different from the other children? My mom's like, 'cause you're a freak. But okay, so I wrote it, Paleo here edited it, and yes, it took a long time because I got a job back last year, and that kind of took a lot of time.
September, October.
Yeah, when real life calls, you kind of got to, set priorities, but we were able to finish it, and he edited the thing. Edited it.
Like there's still a few parts in here where there's nothing, but it's only like in the very beginning, where it's like a minute, but you can still hear the narration. Where we have a planned like animation from one of the friends we had and animate one of the scenes in the first one, which was like the 4chan part where they had the anonymous people.
Yeah, the guy's name is Piggy Bank, and he's a great animator, and he helped us with the part 1. By the way, I want to give a quick recap about the origins of the project. Like I said before, I worked on a class project in 2011 called Battle of the Brony. It was an hour-long video on YouTube about the Brony fandom and sociology, because it was for a sociology class. I uploaded on YouTube afterwards, and people really liked it. Paleo did the same thing to a degree, but it was more of a review about the show, while I did more of a review about the fandom. Shut up, B-Vids! Security! All right, Paleo.
But yeah, I made the video like why My Little Pony Frontier's Magic is so good and why you should give it a chance. And then like I was looking, I was almost about to upload it, and I was looking to see if like anybody had made something like that, because I didn't see anything like that before. So I typed in like Brony documentary, and his thing popped up, and I was like, what?
Mine was like 2 weeks before his.
Yeah, or it was something like that. I think it was like a month before that you uploaded, like the first week of December, I think, and then I was like the day after Christmas. So yeah, I saw yours, and I was like, this guy's voice is annoying. So.
You love it.
But yeah, I messaged him, and I was like, you want to do it?
We both secretly hated each other at first, because like he thought my voice was annoying, and I was kind of proud that I was the first one to like get to the Brony, documentary scene. And I remember his got posted in the question today, and I'm like, who's this little upstarter stealing my thunder? And then he contacted me on Skype. I'm like, oh, hi, I always want to meet you. Nice to meet you. But then we warmed up real quickly and became good friends, and one thing led to another. I probably said that right. One thing led to another, and we decided, and Paleo brought up the idea of like, hey, we should collab on a single project together, And
yeah, we'll do it over the summer.
That's a good one. That's funny. The entire Who's Line panel combined. Yeah, with this glorious joke where we think we can do it in like 3 months. So that never happened. But we decided, okay, let's try to make a project. Let's we can go to these different cons going on this summer and interview people in the fandom, ask them about their experiences, and then Paleo was like, hey, let's do a Kickstarter. Yeah. And we got like $9,000 donated to the cause, which was like, wow, people really want to see this. And this was before John Delancey announced his project. So
yeah, like right before it.
Hipster glasses on, we were there first. But which he got like 350,000, we got like 9,000. But we put the money to good use. An excellent hot tub we bought. No, we were able to go to different conventions and interview and talk to people. Some of the people we interviewed are here, like B-Vids, Race Best. We didn't talk to you, Matt. We didn't know you at the time.
Yeah, it was like, like after we came back from BronyCon 2012, like I found that Matt was doing pony stuff, and I knew Matt back like since 2006, and I was like, hey, I remember you.
Small world, right?
Yeah.
So and then we released part 1 last summer, and here we are with part 2. This is a Rough Cut premiere, and we just want to show you all what we put together. Hopefully, you all will like it. Give us some critique, and over the course of the next few months, we'll put it back together, and the final product will hopefully be uploaded before the summer is over or in early fall. So, do you want to present this?
Yeah, and like I said, in the early part of this document, or part 2, there are some dead moments, but it'll pick up pretty quickly.
There are some narration issues where I did 2 recordings of narration, and you can tell there's a little bit of audio issue. I'm going to re-record the entire thing at once when we get back. So there are things we already realized, where there's some little editing issues and the audio and some dead air, which, if you all see it, still bring it up so we can make a note of it. But we just want you guys to know that this isn't like it's perfect.
Yeah. We only have like a couple of tracks of music in this one. So I'm gonna have to look at General Mumble's back catalog for some more ambient music that he's made.
And the interviews need some audio editing too, to take care of some like zzz sound, but we'll fix that later. But all right, guys, this is the Brony Chronicles Part 2. Hope you all enjoy. And I'll take your questions. Yes.
With the unfinished.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Have them come up here.
Oh,
No mic.
hey, come on up. If y'all have questions, line up over here, okay? Do you have another microphone, or we can just use this one, I suppose? Oh, cool. Yeah, we'll use that one.
That's the extended one.
Slightly.
Slightly extended.
As far as you got.
Awesome. Awesome.
Are you mentioning shared fame and Star Trek and all that? You guys should probably mention about Hasbro actually recognizing America and all that. In the comic series, there's like Shining Light.
Yeah. So, Race, we've counted 4 times that wall people have smacked into it, so we put a trash can in the way.
I smacked it.
No, we've had 4 people do that.
Really?
Yeah. Me and
We have one question.
Me and Vidge actually did that Thursday. We both nearly ran into it.
I ran smack dab into it head first.
No, I noticed it was glass at the last second. I didn't run into it.
Yeah.
That's been a very deadly window.
All right. Any some questions?
Go ahead.
All right. Let's see what you got.
It won't extend very far.
All right. So, my question is, whenever you guys were working on this project, did you have any problems? Did you try to figure out how to word it right without thinking, oh, if we say it wrong, we might get screwed?
Oh, you have no idea. Yeah, it's tough because you don't want to come across as insulting, but you don't want to come across as not addressing something because above all else, we want to be true to ourselves and talk about the things that are worth talking about, like the stereotype, like the images, like Rule 34. That stuff is, that's why people don't like the Brony image. That's why mainstream culture has these news channels saying, what's wrong with these people? And there are reasons why they don't like it because of those things I just mentioned. So we wanted to word it properly to where we can keep this documentary PG, where we can give a good answer without having to get too far off track. Because, I mean, a lot of this stuff, the Rule 34 thing can be its own project for some psychologists for all we know, but we didn't want to go down that beaten path, so we just kind of lightly touched on it. So yeah, we care about we word things. The neckbeard thing, that's tough because it's like me making fun of other stereotypes, and that's never fun because stereotypes aren't true. They're just assumptions. So we want to get that point across to the audience that it is a stereotype, an assumption.
All right.
Thank you. Jeffrey Holler.
My question is, how are you doing today first?
I'm hanging in there.
I actually don't have a question. This is the weirdest thing. I actually have a little bit of a story, if you'll allow me.
I will.
This happened during the showing of this happened right now.
Okay.
And it kind of is a little bit of a weird thing. So I got a message on Facebook from one of my old high school friends, someone I've known for years. And he says, just totally random, are you Jay Heller on YouTube? I'm like, I've been found out.
No.
Oh no. And to kind of relate, I just was like, yeah, because you have this moment where if you have people who you trying to keep this down low, and it resonates with you because you're like, people keep this secret from some of the people that they know or friends, whatnot, because it's a little embarrassing sometimes. Some people may feel embarrassed. So I had this choice. I'm like, do I tell him? Do I lie? What do I do? So I said, yeah, that's me. That's me. And his response was, that's great. I watched that show with my daughter, and
Really?
It's fantastic.
That's crazy.
So I don't know. I just felt it was really strange that it happened during this showing when you're talking about, you maybe about hiding who you are and whatnot. But it's like, people are more accepting about just coming out and being, just saying who you are.
I think
That's all I'm saying.
and that's really cool. It's a good example of how society's kind of shifting in that direction where, there's a difference between, we say love and tolerance, which is kind of, doesn't make sense because tolerance means I'll put up with this.
Yeah, I'll put up with it. Yeah.
And a lot of my family members and my friends, they knew I do this pony stuff, and they tolerate it. As in, they're like, yeah, that's cool. That's your thing. We're not going to get into it. I don't shove it in their faces, and that's a healthy medium to have, where it's I can keep doing what I'm doing, but they still love me, and that's what I kind of think this, Brony thing's heading towards. At least I hope so. You'll always have people who will give you a hard time, and those are the people whose opinions you shouldn't really care about because they're just jerks. Fox News. Yes.
This is mainly a thank you, but thanks to this documentary and a couple other parts of the fandom, this got me to understand and love the community even more and the show. I understand it even better than what I originally thought. And the question that I have is, what was the hardest part about making this project?
The hardest part was probably me procrastinating for a long time, just getting the script done. because I guess like it was just like I wrote probably well over like I'd say 70 pages, single space of script for the entire thing. And this thing was originally supposed to be 3 parts long, but we combined part 2 and 3 together and shortened it up a bit because we didn't want to get too, you know, in detail to the point where it's just boring and unnecessary. But writing the script was difficult. I mean, I'm still in the process. Like after today, I want to go back. I found some things I want to change where words I said were repetitive or parts were repetitive. I'll fix that.
And some animation stuff.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, yeah, those are like.
I look great. I made it myself. But yeah, that was a hard part. And Paleo, what about you?
I guess like especially when editing is just thinking of things like what should I put here, because they're.
Like y'all had a little bit of a giggle when Javert was kind of peeking over from land.
Yeah.
It's like some people, you know, are outsiders looking in, and you have Russell Crowe's hat, you know, looking down to see what's going on. Like that was fun putting that in there. But there are parts where it's like we're both stumped, like what do we put here? And there's some parts where I saw where it's like we need to go back and fix that. But yeah, that's difficult. But we'll get around it. Thank you. And y'all, don't be shy. You can ask any question you want. We'll answer it. I had what did I have? I had a hot dog actually.
Yeah, we had hot dogs.
Yes, sir.
All right. Who were the most difficult individuals that you interviewed
you haven't seen them.
Deal with?
There's some interviews that
make it on there.
Yeah.
No. Everybody was nice to interview, and every interview we had something to bring and say. When it comes, because we had I think like 40 people we interviewed, and not everybody made the final cut because we got to use the footage that makes the most sense with what we're talking about as a subject.
Yeah, I only got in here for like the last part of it, but I was wondering if you had actually interviewed any non-bronies.
That's a good question. Oh, we did not interview a non-brony.
No.
That was something I was thinking about doing, is getting a camera and going to the mall and just say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this?
Yeah, just for like a one-shot video.
But then we had the Fox News stuff where they kind of just tell you how they feel, which, that's a mainstream media outlet, so it's kind of, another way to serve that purpose. But then again, I mean, there are some mainstream media outlets that were like, hey, this is kind of cool. So it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
Okay. Hello.
I'll get you your money in the morning. All right, I worked all night.
Yo, man. Okay. All right.
What's up?
No, I'd just like to say I'm like older than the normal demographic of the fandom. I'm 40 years old, and I'd just like to say this isn't the first time there was a show for girls that guys watched or boys. There was a show made by Hasbro to sell toys to girls called Gem and the Holograms.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like all the kids my age, boys, secretly watched it, but they would just tell between their best friends, and I think it's because of the internet that people can
completely agree.
Right, and it's like I've seen a lot of documentaries, and I don't think anyone's ever mentioned that.
Yeah,
that's because My Little Pony's timing was just, it happened at the time with the internet to where it's like for me, when I saw it, I heard about Bronies, I saw it on YouTube, it went viral, and it became a big old fuss on 4chan, and that's how it got a popularity. So there are things that existed before that you mentioned that did the exact same thing, but because the internet wasn't there, it was
it just didn't catch on.
It didn't catch on.
They're gonna do that Gem and the Holograms movie soon.
No, really?
Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
I apologize for this question if it was already stated, but I was over at the other artist versus voice actors panel, so I missed out on a lot of this stuff, even though I wanted to get here. When will this be available, and where will it be available on?
We wanted to make this free to the public to see, so we're not like selling DVDs. We won't do that. It'll be hopefully done in a month or two.
Hopefully mid-July, but it might be later because there are some things that I was thinking of that I want to kind of change. So it might take a little bit longer.
And we have animators too we're waiting on who, animation's not an overnight process, so we're waiting on them. But you will find it on YouTube. I think it's uploaded to my channel, Saberspark. You'll find it there for free, so anybody can watch.
So I'll be able to actually see it and continue, just like
watch as much as you want.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Just watch it.
All right, so I just want to say something about like the last part of the documentary where they were talking about like how or one of the people on there was talking about how explaining to someone outside of the fandom, like saying, why is this so appealing? Like, there's really no explanation. Like, it's just.
Oh yeah, that was Max that was saying that. Yeah,
that was Hot Diggity Demon, for those who don't know, the guy with the derpy hat.
Yeah.
And it's funny because people are like, oh, he hates the fandom, makes fun of it. He actually is a very deep thinker, and he's thought these things over. But that was.
No, I was saying because like that totally relates to my life, because like my friends have sort of been giving me crap about the whole Brony thing, and they like keep asking, really, what's so appealing about a show made for little girls about ponies? And then like, just like he said, that there's really no explanation. It's just like what you think, and like the
whatever you say, like he said, is going to sound like a dumb excuse to them.
Yeah, it's going to sound like a dumb excuse to them, but to us and all of these like amazing people out here, it's just like, it's really what defines us. It's like,
it's something where like it's hard to explain, and ultimately I found that the more you try to explain it, the harder it becomes to make sense. I find that if you just say like okay, I'll tell you a little personal story. I went on this date with this girl back in February, and I made the mistake of telling her I do YouTube stuff, and she says, oh, what do you do? Oh God, no, money, please, no. Oh my God, no. And I said, oh, I dabble with the pony stuff. And she's like, you're a Brony? I go, yeah. And she goes, that's kind of cool. So I find that if you just kind of brush it off like, no big deal. It's just something like, I play soccer, I do art, I do music, I watch the Spinal Pony show. They might go, hey, that's different. And you're like, yeah, it's a good show. Then if you make a big deal out of it, and you put it in their face and you have to defend yourself, they'll push back.
Yeah.
But if you brush it off like, I just watch it, it's a good chance they'll accept it. And if they don't, then they're probably not good people to be around.
Yeah. So.
Thank you.
Personal question for both of you.
Yes, sir.
What is probably the best thing this fandom has ever taught you? Or just the show in general?
I guess just the best thing that's taught me. I was talking to Tommy Oliver about this, very curious. When I first got into the pony stuff, like I was a homophobe before. Like I looked at all different kinds of things, like transsexuals, just homosexual people. I'm like, oh, they're just disgusting human beings, because I was just raised in the South that way. And the My Little Pony stuff taught me, like, don't go into things just assuming the worst and already hating something. When something new happens, or something new finds you, give it a chance to understand it and see it from someone's different angle, because you might miss out on a point. So just keep an open mind. That's what's taught me, to keep an open mind and take things into consideration before jumping into conclusions.
Yeah, that's kind of what it taught me, but to like a lesser extent. But because I was just like, well, like I don't make fun of anybody for like what kind of shows they watch or anything. So like I don't care if you read Homestuck, even though I don't get it.
Thank you.
Okay. So, I have a friend who has a really strong opinion about documentaries about fandoms, especially ones made by fans. He claims that they're nothing but back padding, and only the fans will watch them. What do you think about that kind of thing?
It's exactly why we address things like the stereotypes and the Rule 34 and stuff like that. Is we don't want to come across as pandering and congratulatory. That won't accomplish anything. And you're right. There's the fact that we are fans making this about fans. That's hard to convince some people. Say, how can you not be biased? That's why we address every single little thing we possibly can, and at least talk about it to a degree and give it a fair critique. Because when I wrote this, I'm like, I'm going to do this from a point of a sociologist, not from a fan of My Little Pony, but someone who's observing all of this stuff happen and how it will play out and how society reacts to it. So, I mean, there's a good chance when they hear this video is being uploaded from a Brony's channel, I'm not going to watch this garbage.
So when you started Ballad, you weren't a Brony when you started the project.
No, I was not. I was still teetering, this is weird. And it is weird, but then I'm like, it's fun.
All right.
So yeah, thank you.
What was your favorite part of making the video, and will the half-eaten hot dog be making an appearance?
He's the final interview. He doesn't put it in yet. No. I think my favorite thing from the entire experience is traveling around the country, going to these conventions, meeting new people, and a lot of people we interviewed, like, you know, 2 of them are sitting right there, 3. I'm sorry, Jay. I thought you were sitting behind him. No, they've become really good friends. Like, you find out that these people are just, they're not bronies, they're just good human beings who also enjoy the same thing as you do, and you become friends. So that's what I think is my favorite part about it. Like, you agree?
Like, I agree. It's just the same thing. Oh, Ray has a question.
Oh no.
I actually think I may have asked this question last time you guys had a panel when you were bringing up the first time the first part of the documentary.
Yeah.
But I want to ask it again because, you know, doing video projects and whatnot, it's one of those things you have to deal with. How much, or have you even figured out yet how much footage you had by the time you were done filming everything?
Oh my God. Too much. How many gigabytes? How many terabytes?
I have no idea. I just know we had like over 40 hours of footage or something like that.
Oh.
Okay. And a lot of the extra footage will be uploaded to, we're going to make a Brony Chronicles YouTube channel, and we're going to upload like every interview separately.
Yeah.
That way, because I mean, you have like these 30-minute interviews. We're only using like a minute or 2 of it. So we're going to upload those interviews so you all can see the entire thing and how they respond to questions. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was just wondering, with the interviews, how long ago were they all done, and were they all done around the same time? Because
yeah, it was 2012 when we recorded them.
2012 summer convention,
yeah, like BronyCon,
rotation.
Everfree Northwest, Cadillac Gardens.
Equestria LA.
Yeah, we didn't.
Did we?
We didn't interview anybody there. We took some like con footage, which we haven't put in there yet.
You're right,
we
you're
should
right.
probably do that.
We should probably use that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Whoa. What? Oh, were all the interviews you did in that documentary, or were there some that you like left out?
There's a lot that haven't been in there. Let's see. We did one with Solrak. And yeah, his interview
He's a well thought out guy. It's funny because you think you're like, no, he's actually got a lot on his mind and shares, you know, like what he thinks. Who else did we interview? There's a lot of the people we interviewed.
Yeah, Kefka Floyd, as an artist, he's done a lot of really nice artwork and like picture designs.
We interviewed the main 6 team.
The main 6
for
team.
Friendship
That's right.
Fighting is Magic. We interviewed them, but we couldn't find a spot to really put them in the documentary because we went into this thinking, let's just get the interviews. That way, at least we have them if we need them, and if we don't need them, then we'll upload them later on.
We also had a couple of show staff interviews.
Yeah.
We had Kathy Westluck and Amy Keating-Rogers.
And we also had Andrew WK, but
yeah, as you saw a little clip of them in there.
Yeah.
We also have an interview with Great Delisle, but like that doesn't fit anywhere.
She's a great person to interview. She's fantastic. She's the voice of Azula.
Yeah, and Frankie from Foster's and Vicky from Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Cadillac Gardens. So thank you. All right. Was that all the questions? I mean, don't be shy.
We still got like friggin' 40 minutes?
No, we're not going to use that all the time up if we don't have anything to really talk about. 10 minutes, you said?
No,
All
40 minutes.
He said 10.
Oh, 10?
That's fine.
Oh, okay.
I think we've hit our point anyway. All right. Any more questions? What about the visuals? Was there anything you all saw that you go like, that looks weird, I don't like that, or this could look better? We're open to hear all suggestions. You editors don't have the luxury of talking to me just yet. We'll have dinner and talk about it. Okay.
I got some notes.
Yes, sir.
Who is the main editor? I meant the main animator for the documentary.
We have
a few. We have
for the first part we had like 4 or 5 different people because we had Piggy Bank doing like the 4chan animations with the anonymous people, and we had Feezy do the intro.
BVids here did some work for us,
Yeah.
editing things together. I mean, we had a lot of people who contributed. The credits are going to be huge as far as people who worked on this. Akleps, he was the one who worked on the the credits outro. We have a couple of people like Galaxy Art might help us out with some animations. So it's, a lot of people who are generous and offering their talents to help us out. So, but Piggy Bank was the one who did the main animations in the last one.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked that is because a lot of the styles seemed familiar to me. So.
Good, because we're doing something right. Thank you.
you might have had this, and I just couldn't see it because of my position in the back there. But on the interviews in the final cut, are you going to have the names of?
Yes.
Okay.
Vivid's actually provided little fancy little like overlays.
That's one thing I kind of saw when we did the rough cut. Is like Brony Dance Party was talking. I was wondering how many people even know what he looks like. And no whacking.
Yeah, and Jan Animation.
Jan Animation.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had a few people, and it's like, oh no, the audience might not know what they look like. And
your future self, to deal with it.
Yeah, your future self, to deal with it. I'll kick you in the face. But yeah, it was fun. All right, any other questions, guys, or are we wrapping this up? I think that's it. All right, guys, thank you for joining us. We hope you all enjoyed this. We hope to have it on YouTube soon, and we hope you guys just enjoy it. Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
Get out.
We have a spare panel space. 30 minutes. We have a spare panel space in this room. 30 minutes. The party's asked when anything isn't happening. You know, we were, unless you guys are interested in doing something, we just have an open panel. We thought of making a head of like myth canon, like Mythbusters. You guys okay? It is. We have a panel slot. For what? Anything. Ideas. It's gonna be nice to be
Yes, man. My southern mom, you know, I don't know what it's called. My sister, my mother, my niece.
Anything.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. Just turned 12.
Nice to meet you.
It's very helpful.
And I appreciate you telling us.
I like how you explain it and go through it.
Thank you for your kind words. And that's the most, like, that's the best compliment we can receive is having somebody who doesn't get it. Please understand that. That's, you have no idea. That's so much. Thank you so much.
It's very helpful. You know, talk to us embarrassed. Oh my gosh, what's this? Afraid to tell us. And we're trying to learn and to understand it. You're lucky you have a short.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Fun time.
I usually put just like
I would love to start that. Which way? It's a death note. You're trying to kill me.
See this?
I'm just trying to kill me. I'm trying to kill myself off.
We don't know how to
kill myself. Or the bag of chips.
in the morning. No.
Oh, are you serious? You got a good point. You have to write your real full name in order for it to get you. Yeah, no, that's funny. 30 minutes.
I'd be down for. I mean, it would have to be a very